right, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm back here, right in your company. Welcome to the Max Kpakio talk show. Shortly, of course, we just right on the hour now. We will be expecting our guest. They say Honorable Emmanuel. Wettee. All right, any moment from now, hopefully, because we're already on the hour, okay? But welcome to the show. All of you that are tuning in right now.
Africa is a land of refuge. Africa is a land of safety. Africa is a home of wealth. Africa is a land of talent. Wake up, Africa, and be very vigilant. Let's not to war and get peace or chasement. Somebody help me sing my redemption song. Yeah, yeah, my redemption song, man. My redemption song. Hey, love, my redemption song. My redemption song. Hey, yeah, God bless my Africa. Now we know, I said now we know, yeah. Hey, yeah, now we know. Now we know, I said now we know, yeah. Hey, yeah, now we know. The price of rice will never come down, I said now we know, yeah. Hey, yeah, now we know. In the midst of what we are tested, I said now we know, yeah. Hey, yeah, now we know. They send us to kill our brethren, I said now we know, yeah. Hey, yeah, now we know. Election is structured in a reality, I said now we know. Hey, yeah, now we know. We suffer, I said now we know, man. Hey, yeah, now we know. I said the fool us up with it, I said now we know. Hey, yeah, now we know. They gave us free food just to kill our brothers. Hey, yeah, now we know. They gave us package just to kill our relatives. Hey, yeah, now we know. They give us free education just to spoil our continent. Hey, yeah, now we know. Now we know, I said now we know. Hey, yeah, now we know. I said now we know, better now we know, man. Hey, yeah, now we know. I said we suffer, better now we know. Hey, yeah, now we know. The price of rest will never come down, I say now we know, man. Hey, yeah, now we know. Life will never be the same, brother, now we know. Hey,
Yeah, now we know.
look at Africa and tell me, brother, now we know, yeah. Hey, yeah, now we know. Look at Mama Liberia and tell me, say now we know, yeah. Hey, yeah, now we know. Look at Sierra Leone and tell me, brother, now we know, yeah. Hey, yeah, now we know. Look at Cote d'Ivoire and tell me, brother, now we know, yeah. Hey, yeah, now we know. Look at Rwanda and tell me, I said now we know, man.
Yeah, now we know. And now we know. And they say they're bringing freedom to us. They brought suffering to us. And now we know. But I don't know whether we know, say, because we say keep making the same mistake anyway. All right, welcome to the show, the Max Kpakio talk show. Today is Monday, right? Yes, Monday, the 27th of August, 2018. For the time from where I sit and broadcast is just about 5 minutes past the hour of 10 o'clock here. And of course, we're just waiting for the call. Let me check and see if our studio guest is already in. I can see okay, Mr. Emmanuel Wettee, if you can just call now. Let's Facebook is not giving me the option to call, so you need to call. Please call so we can at least we can begin the show right here. and right now. Okay, we're going to take another short musical break while we wait for our guests to call in. Let's go to Bone County. You need to call. I can't see any option to call you, so you need to call me, please. All right, all the dust is settled in Zimbabwe. The crocodile man was sworn in yesterday. Mr. Wettee, only you have to call me via the video. There's no Facebook is not giving me the option to call, so you call, please. Or just okay your. Let's say good evening to. Yeah, Chief, you're calling me the wrong way. You don't call me. Please don't call me on the messenger. If you call me on messenger, you cut me off of the video. The video you're watching live. That's the way. Chief, please don't call me via the messenger. Call me. The video you're watching live, there where you're supposed to call me from. You see the green screen there on the bottom of the video you're watching. Yeah, it's not going to work like that. Yeah, it's not. You can call messenger. The video you're watching, there's, if you check at the bottom there, you see the signal, it turned to green already. Because that's the one you just need to press, and then I will okay it from there. If not, then let me give you the number to call. No sound. I'm talking, you say no sound? I'm talking. I put the music up, so there will be no sound. I think we're getting there. Now we're getting you now. Okay, Yawalepo, hey, Yawalepo, go. Please bear with us. We're trying to get it's taking some time actually, but it's going slowly. Oh no, Facebook declined it. Let's try again. We still find it difficult to get connected with our no sound, like really no sound. All right, I'm getting signal that there's no sound. Really? I think you need to check your gadget, yeah? Check your handset or so. Thank you so much, yeah? Wettee, Victoria. We still find it extremely difficult. Oh, thank you, Dr. Precious, too. The sound is loud and clear. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Rafik. All right. God. While we're still trying to connect with our wonderful would-be guest. Donald Trump now wasted today again. Today, but you wasted on Nigerian president. He's lifeless. They may marvel. All right, this one here to all my guys there. Nimakante, a wonderful radio station there. Alright, let's try again and send a request to Mr. Wettee. This technology thing, man. Chief, if anything, call on the phone then. We will still hear your voice, please. Just wait small. After this one failed because it's going through, it's adding. And then maybe you can call the number. Yeah, boss man, please check your messenger. I sent a number a long time. Mr. Wettee, please check your messenger. I sent the number a long time. And we wish the president a safe trip to China. The president should be arriving in China by now. And his interact. All right, we're going to hold the music right now. Let's see. Good evening, Mr. Wettee.
Yes, how are you?
I'm good. Technology, we wanted to at least share the platform with you, especially those that are watching, so at least we could see each other. But I don't know what's happening, but never mind. In fact, the call I placed, the last call I placed, it's still telling me it's adding, so let me remove it from there. But good evening, sir. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm okay. The very nice weather in Columbus, Ohio. It's just like the weather in Nigeria. And just enjoying the day.
All right. First of all, let me welcome you and let me welcome all of our listeners on this platform. Welcome. Of course, we're going to set the scene. If you have any comments, as the way the video is giving us problem, but maybe some of you can try. You never know, you might able to come through, but we couldn't get our guest via the video. But you can try later on via the video. Unfortunately, he is on the line on the phone, so we won't use the phone line today, but we'll try the video. Those of you that want to call and participate, and also if you care to, you can just write your question or what statement. But please, my platform is civil. It's very civil. When you want to talk on issues, it has to be straight to the point, not personal. You get personal, I block you off straight away. So, Mr. Wettee, let's say welcome once again on this Max K Talk Show. It's great. It's been a long time since we had you on here.
Yeah, it's been a very long time. When we last met, we gave an update on the dual citizenship and the direction we're going. And I think this is the right time to come back because there are a lot of things being happening, good development being happening, some setbacks and some achievement. So it is appropriate at this time to give a report to let our people know where we are and where we're going.
All right, it has been good to have been a part of the process using the platform, radio station platform here as well. I mean, it has been my privilege as well. But before we go further, for the benefit of those that are listening to you for the first time, mind you, we have a good number of our brothers that are listening to us right now, watching live from all the way there in Kansas City as well. So let's hear from you. Tell us a little bit about Mr. Wettee.
Well, I'm Emmanuel S. Wettee, 1984 graduate of the Booker Washington Institute. I didn't graduate early because of the Civil War in 1991. I left the country to come to the States. I live in Columbus, Ohio, and with my family and my mother and my father, I do work for the state of Ohio. I'm a 26-year employee with the state, and 21 years I've been teaching at Columbus State Community College in the area of computer science. And, my private life, I love politics. I'm former president of UDA. I live in Columbus, Ohio, where I was one president for a community. And currently I'm the chairman of the All-Liberia Conference on Dual Citizenship. And before we go any further, let me explain about this conference. In December of 2012, Eula, Koloswa, Isla, the Liberians in Australia, in Ghana. We met in Washington, D.C. to coordinate our effort to fight for dual citizenship in Liberia. So since 2012, we formed this organization for the All Liberia Conference on Dual Citizenship. And I'm just happy to be the chairman. I just carry on the messages from our partners and our supporters. So I want to thank everybody for their support since 2012, and we still on this thing.
Now, first of all, let's just kick off with the main aspect, because you've spent a huge time now advocating and campaigning, and also going to meetings, going to conferences, and attending and pushing the agenda for this dual citizenship in Liberia. First of all, why do you want dual citizenship?
Well, to begin with, let me start by saying that, as you mentioned, we've been advocating since 2012. You know, as a matter of fact, since 2012, we organized our campaign, but before 2012, there were other groups that were going around. Now, today, I'm very pleased to report that Senator Bonnie Sherman of Grand Cape County introduced a bill on the floor of the Liberian Senate. The bill was debated upon, discussed, and it is up now for a vote. We are just waiting.
I want to take it gradually to follow it step by step, so that at least people can follow the chronological aspect of it. First of all, let us find out from you, why do you want dual citizenship? Why did you get involved?
Well, first thing is this, that our country, Liberia, cannot develop with all its citizens. And everyone who is a Liberian have a stake in the development of that country. Prior to the Civil War, many Liberians were home. But after the war, we were not our own making, or we came abroad. And the Liberian law, the Alien and Nationality law, says that if you naturalize in another country, if you're born in another country, if you fall in another country, you are not a Liberian. Now, the reason why we are fighting for dual citizenship is that the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia says only the Liberians can own the land. That's what our law says. So what that means? It means that if you have a land in Liberia and you travel to Australia, or you travel to Europe, you travel to America, and you became a citizen, you automatically are now a Liberian, and you do not own the land that you had before coming. That's a key thing. My land that I had before, I don't have that land anymore because I'm not a Liberian. The next thing is that even if I do not naturalize, my children born in America or in Europe are not Liberian citizens, so they cannot take the land when I pass away. So it is very important that we understand the issue of dual citizenship is not anything but a reconnection to the land. The next thing is this: the women in Liberia cannot pass the citizenship over to their children. And most people just take it for a joke. It's not true. Because many of our sisters, certain family members have traveled and have interacted with others who are not Liberian. Those people's children are not Liberian because in Liberia, only the father can pass on citizenship to the children, not the mother. Now, the question is that why is one person's child better than the other? If we will have to develop Liberia, we need all of the Liberians on the table. And that's the reason why we are fighting for dual citizenship. In addition, the issue of brain drain will be replaced by brain gain. Those Liberians that travel to have the skills to go back home and be able to help develop the country. The economic development that will take place. And above everything, Liberia can only be developed by all of its citizens. Look at Nigeria. Look at Ghana. Look at Sierra Leone next door. Let us not even mention Ivory Coast. These countries around us have accepted dual citizenship, and we can see the differences as compared to our country.
Mr. Wettee, let me pick on the example you just gave about children and mothers as well. Are you, I mean, try to educate a little bit. Good. Are you saying that those children that were born when ECOMOG was in the country by Liberian women, though they are in the country there, but those children do not have the right to be citizens of Liberia and do not have the right to own properties in Liberia? Is that what the Constitution is saying?
That's what the law says. The alien and nationality law. Like, let's say Liberian women are married to Sahara by Lebanese. That children are not legal, are not Liberian. Because the law says that only your father can make you citizen and not your mother. So those that were born before that non-Liberian, the children are not Liberian. That's the law. The law's on the book. And if we go ahead.
So I mean, in this, if the Constitution is spell it out like that, I mean, this is something it's also referred to as the organic law of the land. If they spell it out like that, is it being discriminatory or is it being something else?
It is not in the Constitution. It is in the 1974 Alien and Nationality Law of the Republic of Liberia that spell out citizenship. Only the father can pass on the citizenship to the children, not the mother. So if a Liberian woman have a child, by someone who's not a Liberian, even if the child was born in Liberia, the child is not a Liberian. That's the law. And these are things that we need to make sure is changed, because there's absolutely no reason why another Liberian child, another Liberian woman child is lesser than the other.
Why are we here now? Why are we talking about this now? Because since 1847, let me put it that way, and all throughout up to now, why are we here, and why is it being fleshed out now, Mr. Wettee? That's a very good question, and I tell you what, it's just the nature of we Liberians. Nothing becomes important except it is our truth. The law has been there since 94. Since 1974, right? I'm sorry. Since 1974, this law has been there. But we all remain silent. In 1974, I was in the 12th. I was in the 12th grade. I was in the 10th grade in Liberia. Nobody talked about the law. The law was passed. The only people that talked about it was the educated Liberians. They felt that because they were returning home, that's why they passed the law. But the law has been there on the books since 1974. As a matter of fact, since May, if I get it right, since May 15th of 1974. Because the law was amended 1973 May. 1974 was approved. So we all been like the law been there, we never said nothing. But after the war, this is what happened. After the war, after diaspora Liberians invested their time supporting their family during the war, after the war, Liberians begin to say, wait a minute, you guys left the country. You guys are not Liberians. Why are you coming back? They begin to dig out that law, the 1974 law, and put it right into our faces. Oh, you can't hold this position. Oh, you are not a Liberian. You can't own the land. And the whole thing begins to say, well, wait a minute. I thought I've been a Liberian all along. But no, the laws are on the book. If you naturalize in another country, you're not a Liberian. And the key reason that we are talking about this is land ownership. That's the fundamental reason that we're talking about this land ownership. If I have my land in Liberia and I travel outside the country
and I became a U.S. citizen or a British citizen, the land that I had before, I don't own it any longer. And guess what happened? The law says that your sister or your brother should take the land. That's what the law says. So the question is this: if I give the land to my sister or brother, what's the guarantee that I have that if I pass away, my sister or brother will have my children get the land? That's what we're talking about. And above all, our country economic development, reconstruction, infrastructure development needs every Liberian. And let's face it, those that travel, some of them have the needed skills that are required to develop our country.
Now, I mean, personally, now, I mean, you being in this for a long time. In fact, you are. We can say you are the captain of this particular boat of this ship. Why is there so much interested? Why are you so much interested in this?
Well, this is not a personal mission. 2012, I was selected by my colleague to just chair this committee. And let me say one thing. I'm not the only person on this team. There are a lot of people that writing articles. There are a lot of people appearing on talk show. In fact, Chairman George Toto from Utah spoke to the Liberian Senate. You got Lord, John Lord, you got Brunel, you got Prince, where you got Liberians from everywhere that are interested. This is a whole network of people. You know, we got our advisor, Dr. Breckhouse, Dr. Thorbo, we got Abraham Woods, Masale. There are a group of Liberians, even the entire leadership of Utah, the entire leadership of Isla, Koloswa, leadership in Ghana and Australia, they're all on board. So this is not a personal thing. It's just that what we did is that we just said, look, Wettee, since, you know, you've been a former president of Utah, we just want you to execute our order. We just want you to carry our messages out there. And anytime I can be recalled, if the partners see that I'm not doing the job, I can be recalled anytime. So I'm just the messenger for the message. You know, it's not a personal thing that I take. And besides that, my nature of thing is that if I'm giving an assignment, I do it to the best of my ability. That's the kind of person I am.
Did you start the whole process when you were still leader of EULA?
President Arthur Watson, who was the vice president of Arthur Watson started this campaign. At the time, the union have not taken a position on dual citizenship. So, when I became president after Arthur Watson, I want to admit today to everybody, whether it's in the morning, in the evening, or in the night, whatever we are, my entire administration never discussed dual citizenship from 2006 to 2008. Because my administration was consumed by immigration. At the time, there were 10,000 Liberians that were out to be deported. So we invested our entire resources to preventing the deportation of those Liberians. Today, every time you read about the immigration, they say in 2007, George Bush granted TPS to Liberians were doing our administration. We made it possible. So my entire administration, I didn't tell anybody dual citizenship. When President Gates got in, President Gates wanted my help. And I told him, I said, look, I won't mind helping you, but I want you to push this agenda of dual citizenship. But prior to that, President Anthony Cassidy, it's very important for me to admit on this conference. It was the administration of Anthony Cassidy that adopted a position in Georgia at the United Assembly and made Utah to take a position, a strict position, to support dual citizenship. That year, President Anthony Cassidy traveled to Liberia for the TRC hearing, and because of his work, today, as part of the TRC report, dual citizenship was mentioned as part of the report of the TRC. So Cassidy came back. We too were consumed by immigration work. We didn't invest more time into dual citizenship. When President Gates got in, we told him, look, this is very important. And President Gates allocated a lot of time and resources in dual citizenship. And from there, ULAB began to take the lead And we're working in collaboration, in partnership with our other diaspora organizations that I mentioned in my previous statement. So my administration from 2006 to 2008, we did nothing on dual citizenship because we were consumed by immigration work.
Okay, now let's come to the where we are right now. You've given us at least a synopsis of what the group been doing in terms of campaigning and of course pushing this dual citizenship issue with the lawmakers in Liberia. Where are we? Are there any hope that at least what you're fighting for will come to reality, and how soon?
Okay, where are we? I can tell you that we are farther from where we started, and we are closer to where we're going. First thing, in 2017, March 2017, the Supreme Court of Liberia heard a case on the constitutionality of the 1974 Alien and Nationality Law. Councillor Cyril Cooper represented Pinterest Jaro on the case. Jaro filed, he challenged the laws. And since March of 2017, the Supreme Court has not made a decision on that hearing. So we are awaiting that decision of the Supreme Court. We are very pleased to announce today that Councillor Senator Barney Sherman of Cape Mount County, along with other lawmakers, have introduced for the first time a bill to amend the 1974 Alien and Nationality Law. That bill, it went to committee, it was discussed, it was debated upon. As a matter of fact, on April 26th, the chairman of the Board of Directors, George Toto, addressed the Liberian Senate when Councillor Sherman, or Senator Sherman, introduced the bill. So the Liberian Senate already discussed the bill. There is the main committee. They have been discussed on the floor. The only thing that is remaining now is for it to be put on the agenda to be voted upon. For some reason, we don't understand, we don't know what the delay is. However, I managed to speak to the President Pro Tem of the Liberian Senate, asking if the bill has been debated about what's happening with the voting. He said, yes, there will be a vote, but however, he wants for private lawyers to review the bill before the Senate vote on the bill. After the Senate has debated the bill, we were thinking that it was going to be done before. So, well, he has his own judgment. He knows what he's doing. And he said that, according to our conversation, he told me directly that the only reason why he had not put it on the floor to vote is that because he wants for private lawyers to look at it and they will not be violating the Constitution. So now, this is what we have. And many Liberians in the diaspora are saying, wait a minute, Mr. President, we are due here in a couple of weeks. We hope that the Liberian Senate can vote on this bill. We will accept any result, but we just want the Senate to vote on it. And we're hoping that President, before he arrives here in New York, in the United States, he will bring a gift to diaspora Liberia, and the issue of dual citizenship is closer to resolution. So this is what we are. Our two track is working. We have one at the Supreme Court, and we have one at the Liberian Senate. And at this point, all we can do is to pray and hope that the President Pro Tem, our chair from Grand Crew, will put the bill on the floor for vote. And we're also hoping that the Liberian Supreme Court will make a decision on the case that was held March of 2017.
Yeah, can you describe your optimism? How optimistic are you?
Well, in this kind of game, the coach Josiah Johnson always said, football is a biscuit. You don't know where it will break. So it's the same thing with the games. I can tell you for the numbers that we have, we are positive that we got the vote. But in this game that we're in, until the last vote is counted, you can't be too sure. But however, we got the feeling that the Liberian Senate will pass the law. We pass the bill. We do have the feeling. We have the numbers, and we believe in it. But however, we cannot say much because in the game of politics, the color can change at any time. But we are positive that the Liberian Senate will pass the changes that were made in the led by Senator Bonnie Sherman.
Well, on this note, we just have to say thank you. This is Mr. Emmanuel Wettee, former president of ULA, that's the Union of Liberian Associations in the Americas, and of course heading the team now that is pushing to with respect to dual citizenship in Liberia. He's our studio guest tonight on the Max Kpakio Talk Show, and indeed it's a pleasure to have him on. Mr. Wettee, you raised a concern there when you were addressing the issue. Also reminded us that the dual citizenship is also mentioned in the TRC recommendation, and these are recommendations that Liberians are also calling for a full implementation. But being so optimistic, all of us, are happy, especially those of us that are in the diaspora or either, standing to make sure that indeed this dual citizenship comes to light. We are happy to hear such a news. But does it mean that the dual citizenship aspect within the TRC is superseding the rest of the recommendations? What is your take on this as a politician and concerned Liberian?
Yeah. Before I address that question, I've been preparing for that particular question that I knew over the count. Let me try to say something, and I hope it will help me to explain myself better.
Go on, sir.
In 1985, the U.S. Senate, the lawmaker in the United States, passed a law and said that the capital city of the United States in Tel Aviv, in Israel, should be moved to Jerusalem. It was in the 80s. However, the President of the United States, based on security and other factors, can make that decision to either execute it or delay it. And every president since the 80s has made a decision to delay it. It is not that the law was not there, but every president had the right to do it. We noticed last year, another president came out and said that, look, hey, based on circumstances, I'm going to move the U.S. embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Why am I saying this thing? The TRC report, the implementation, have been accepted by the government of the Republic of Liberia. Every government has accepted and going to implement the law, the reports. But the decision and the time to implement the full report may be made by the administrators that feel that they have the right structure, the right platform, the right condition to execute the recommendation for the TRC report. The TRC report implementation is not one government responsibility. So on the earning, it didn't happen. It may or may not happen on the way up. But the Republic of Liberia is responsible one day to implement the TRC report. And it is left with the government in power to consider all of the factors in implementing such a recommendation. I don't know of any government that said that they're not going to do it. Now, there are two things. You can agree to do something, and you can delay the implementation of what you agree upon due to some factors and other parameters that are involved.
Yeah, I really want you to, if you can help us to really address the question. What I'm asking is this: we have a lot of branches within the TRC as recommendations, and now the optimism with respect to the dual citizenship is very, very high, and it seems to be that it's been uprooted within the rest of the recommendations. Now, my question is, why is it being prioritized, not going along with the rest?
Well, the thing is that it has not been prioritized. It's just that those that are the team or advocating for dualism, they have a structure. They are persistent and consistent. You know, they are not moved by other factors. Our focus is on dual citizenship. We live and breathe dual citizenship. We meet every other Sunday or sometime or a month or 2 o'clock every Sunday, you know, and to discuss this thing. So since 2012, imagine how long we have been. And we have a core team. We have a core team. That's all they do. We have Dr. Leroy Boyka as an advisor. We got Dr. Torbo as an advisor. We got Abraham Macaulay, who's our communication director, and one professor from Europe, and I just joined us. All we do, this core team just sit down and just discuss dual citizenship. What are we doing? How can we move forward? So I think people are hearing us. Hello?
Yeah, you're on live with us.
Hearing us. Okay. I think people are seeing us because of the consistency that we have in our application. We don't shake. And let me be frank with you. That some of our members say, "Oh, you guys just talk dual citizenship." But our mission, we were mandated since 2012 to carry on this torch. And until the mission is over, until our bosses say that we don't like what we're doing, then of course we will leave the stage for another person to come in. Those that are advocating for other aspects of the TRC report, they have the same resources to do what we're doing. The only thing that it is very sad that some of the members advocating for the war crime or other TRC reports, they're trying to say that we on the dual citizenship side of the act do not support what they're doing. It's not a question of whether we support you or not. We have a mission and we are carrying on our mission. You can go ahead and do what you have to do.
All right, his name is Mr. Emmanuel Wettee. Of course, he's our wonderful studio guest there this evening on the Max Kpakio Talk Show. With respect to the time difference, maybe it's morning to you, or of course just afternoon. But welcome to the show. We're gonna take a short musical break. Mr. Wettee, as the community leader as well, we have some issues that he'll be helping us to understand. The TPS is also on the table here, and the DED. We talk about it, and we hear his view as well. But let's take this very short musical break, so at least our guests can, of course, our guests can have a cool water, and then we'll come back to him. Don't go, Mr. Wettee. Don't go. You're on the line.
No, I'm allocating my time for you. I'm up. I'm ready. I'm up.
Okay. Okay. So what is happening here now?
We are free. We are free. Today is our day.
And from there, we'll come back quickly to look at some of your points there. Maybe our studio guests will respond to some of your concerns before we can move to the next one. All right, there's a school fees there. We all one, Liberia, no matter wherever you are. Okay, let's see whether we can, Mr. Wettee, whether we can entertain some of the concerns here of those that are watching this. So unfortunate that we couldn't get you via the videos, but now you could be able to call. If you want to call, you only have to use the video. For now, we only have one line. Our studio guest is on it, so we can take you on the phone line. try the video. Maybe we'll be able to get you. But let's see whether we can get a few comments. Okay, Paulo Solomon Fasa, all the way there from the USA. A child born to a non-Liberian father can decide at the age of 18 which country he or she wants to be a citizen. According to it, interpretation of the law here as well. Thomas Awaji, also from the USA. I still own my properties in Liberia. Are the laws selective? I really don't know. Okay, Zuba Kova Jaboy, I think from Morovia. No color. Law says Liberian. Okay, he's talking about no color. Okay, we're trying to respond to my studio guest. Law says Liberian women that travel outside Liberia and born by other nationalities that are not Liberian. The law says the citizenship of a Liberian born outside Liberia is determined by the father, not the mother. As long as you are born in Liberia, if one of your parents is black, you can determine your nationality at the age of 18. Okay, I don't know. It's quite deep for me, but hopefully Mr. Wettee will elaborate a little bit. Let's see. George Toto. Thomas, if you are a U.S. citizen or hold a foreign country citizenship and it is legal to own properties in Liberia, I think somebody trying to answer Thomas there. Okay. George, so legally I don't own. Okay. So based on the answer the brother has given, George is saying back, so legally I don't own them. Okay, Mr. Wettee, any comments so far before we move forward?
Yes, and yeah, very good question to ask you. Now, the law is very clear. Chapter 4, Article 28 of the Liberian Constitution. It says if a child is born to one parent who's a Liberian, the child will keep the Liberian until at the age of maturity. The child can decide whether they want to be a Liberian or not. Okay, now what the law says? The law says at the age of maturity. So let's look at it. At the age of maturity will be at the age of 18 or the age of 21. So if the child was in Japan, if the child was born in Korea, if the child was born in another thing by another Liberian, and there's no Liberian embassy at that time, or there's no Liberian at that place, what if the child was sick at the age of 21, and they not made a decision to become a Liberian at that point? Are you now saying that they're not Liberian? Is that what you're saying? If they never had the opportunity based on the circumstances at that point, and they don't make that decision, are you saying that they are not Liberian? Why do you think you are more Liberian than them? The next thing is this. The law is very clear in Liberia. A Liberian woman does not have the right to pass on her citizenship to a child. That's the law. You can't circumvent it, you can move it, that's the law. So, and the other thing is that in Liberia is not a birthright country. We all need to understand that. Because you were born in Liberia, you are not a Liberian citizen if your parents are not Negro or of Negro descent. That's the law. It's in our constitution. So if you're born in Liberia and your mother is Liberian and your father is now a Liberian, you are not a Liberian. That's the law. I mean, we see all the children, the Lebanese children, we see other people, that's the law. The law is very, as a matter of fact, right now we're speaking, there is a professor at Cambridge University in New York. She's advocating for another side of citizenship for those that were born to the parents non-Negro. They live born in Liberia. A mother is a Liberian. A father is a Lebanese. She doesn't have a Liberian passport. And she's carrying on her own campaign on citizenship. Our own campaign is only for natural born Liberians and their children. So the law is very clear. On the issue of the land issue, the Liberian law says that only a Liberian can own the land. It's very clear. So, if you have a land in King the States, or you want to Europe, you want to Australia, and you naturalize, the alien and nationality law says you are not a Liberian. If you are not a Liberian, logically, you don't own the land. And if you see, many Liberians do not read the alien and nationality law. It's extremely important that you read it. It's very, very important. It tells you everything that you need to do. If you now a Liberian, what do you need to do? You can pass the land over to your sister, to somebody in your family. It's all there. The laws are all listed. So we're not making anything up.
Okay, that's it for some of you. Just in case you want to follow more, perhaps you can also get in touch with Mr. Wettee. He's on social media every day. He's in the community as well, every time and then, and engaging Liberians wherever they are. Let's dig a little bit now into our own into the politics of Liberia, because as a community leader, we will just bring you here to just talk on one segment of of aspect of life, and then we just let you go. We need to get some of your views on some of the issues that are trending in Liberia also. But first of all, let's start with the issue of this issue of things that brought about changes, whether we have to go through war to bring change in Liberia. As a concerned Liberian, you being out of Liberia, right now your horizon is quite wide, that perhaps some of us only want to see you in Liberia now, trying to transfer those beautiful skills you got to helping our nation moving forward. However, in the midst of all of these, Mr. Wettee, we fought hard. People came and fought hard to get rid of nepotism, or get rid of corruption as well. But as far as where we stand today, there seems to be some sort of complaint everywhere that, well, what actually we fought for yesterday, or we wanted to change yesterday, there's no change at all. What's your take on this?
I tell you that when you come from a war, your expectations are very high. I think the problem that we have in Nigeria is that we're now managing the expectations of our people. We're not managing the expectations of our people. Our people expect very hard of us in terms of leadership. And we do not have the political will to educate our people. Now, when you come from war, there are certain things that are difficult, things that be done gradually to achieve where we want to go. But we need leaders that will develop the political will and mind to have an honest dialogue with our people. That it is not possible to build the universities like in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Liberia in 1 year. It is possible in 5 or 10 years. It is not possible to transform a 1-lane road in Liberia to 4 lanes. It's not possible. In 2 days, it's just not possible. All we need honest discussion with our people, and let the people know. And let the people know that yes, we hear you, we feel you, we know what you think. But we are going to get there, and we'll get there gradually. But you know the interesting thing, my brother? Everything in that world is politics. You tell somebody how it's politics, you do this, it's politics. So it's kind of very hard to carry your message across. Are
we sincerely fighting those ills that I mean, we brought war came in our country. Are we sincerely fighting those ills? Are you seeing it on the ground as a leader?
Oh yeah, the war didn't erase anything. We see some of corruption. Some of the war is still happening in Liberia. I mean, not from a mock. I mean, for the leaders in Liberia, they have described corruption as the empire, enemy of the state. I think injustice is going on. But the development will come in many sectors. First, we have peace. Because with all peace, we can move forward. Now that we have stable peace, the next generation will build the next road. The next generation will build the next school. So these things are gradual. And, in the midst, some of us misbehave. Some of us will study the system and misuse the system. But let me tell you something. There are honest and good Liberians around that are willing to work. And our people should know that there are better days ahead. We know that you want good rules. We know you want good education. We know you want everything. But these things will come gradually. But our leaders need to sit down and have honest discussion with our people so they can manage the expectation. I mean, tell me, how can someone not graduate from high school but they expect in America? How that possible? Where you got that thinking from? So we as Liberians need to have honest discussion. And the 10 years of war, I mean, the 14 years of war and the 12 years of President Salif, I think the infrastructure, the pillars and fabrics were not put in place for this government to come in. I think there were a lot of mistakes that were made in terms of school, infrastructure, economic development. So there is a government that is either less than 200 days old, and we expect everything to happen at once because we have not had honest discussion with our people. I think personally we need to sit down to the people, look them in the eye, and talk to them from the heart. And look, I hear you, I feel you, but I'm not going to tell you that our house holding in 2 days. And if our people begin to see those things and begin to hear the leaders speaking in that direction, you will manage the expectation. We Liberians are very good people. All you need to do is to bring us on the table and then discuss. This whole idea, President, we have the health care change, including the 60 days, all those things. It's not possible. You know that. As a matter of fact, countries that were developed, except for Rwanda, that was developed in 2000. Most countries that were developed before that time. Here we are, Liberia. Our natural resources are not marketable. We still have issues in our country. We need to have honest discussion with our people and say, look, I want you to graduate from high school. I want you to empower yourself. But you're going to come with me. We're going to buckle up together. And we're going to do it gradually. Don't expect it's going to happen in 2 days. Don't expect it's going to happen in 3 days. You may not see the end, but your child will see the end. And that's all we need. But everything that we are upon, or he promised this, he promised that, that's true. That's what government do. But when you get there, it's a different reality. If I was talking to Upon, I would honestly say to have an honest discussion about people to manage their expectations. I mean, tell me, you have the University of Liberia. I was at the university in 1991. Before that, there were other people there at the university. You don't have good classroom. It's now well up to date. You still have problem with transportation. The same issues that I had when I was at the university in 1991 are the same issues the students are having today. So where are we going? The other day, the national orator of the Independent Day mentions about rights. In 1979, we had a West riot. The orator was born in 1971. Imagine today we are still discussing the issue of rights. What are we doing? What are we doing as a nation? Why can't we sit down and prioritize what we want to do? Why can't we manage our true expectation? Don't give nobody false hope. Let the people be told. Let the people know that you can build a full lane in less than 3 days. It's not possible. And the people know that you can't reconstruct the University of Liberia in 10 days. It's not possible. We just need honest discussion with the Liberian people and let them know the reality. And let them feel it and let them participate.
All right, let me hold you there because of time, so at least we can cover the rest of this stuff we got on the table. Because we're still talking about corruption here, and corruption in terms of what we normally see, like for example, what the way it's being fought in Rwanda is in Ghana. The leaders are taking a step forward, and the rest are leading. That's how to fight it, but. If the top is involved, then sometimes it brings some problem. What was your initial response the last time as a leader, community leader, as a politician? What was your initial response the last time when you heard or when you read on the front page Africa that the former, both the president and the vice president, who were also former senators of Bond County and Mosrada County, when you heard the last time that just a couple of weeks ago that they were still receiving benefits that's supposed to be going to the senators, but they were still receiving those benefits, and of course the current position benefits. What was your initial response?
It's not. It don't sound well. It's not good. It's not a good picture. But the question that we need to ask ourselves: what system is in place? Is that happening because of system that allow the loophole to happen? So sometimes when things happen, you don't look at the individual. Look on the box. You know, if you leave office, when they start paying you your previous salary. So these I think that we have to discuss. We have to look at our system. You see, when things happen that we just owe that John, that Pierre. But maybe the system that allows that to happen. And because Liberians are doing extremely well and they are very well informed, Liberians now are researching everything, and that's why these things are happening. And that's why we are being exposed. That's why we're knowing everything. So this new generation of Liberians are making the difference. Because we didn't know about that. So the question that we need to ask ourselves, how long this thing been happening? Did it just happen today, or it happened yesterday, or the day before? It's the same issue with the dual citizenship. You were asking now where it was Eddie who created a law. No, that upon made a law. It happened in 1974. Look at Liberia. When you have a check, you have $1 million in Liberia, you have a check, you can walk to a bank and cash a check, $1 million. Are you kidding me? In America, you get your own $100 check in the bank, you take the money the next day, before they give you something. So all I'm saying to you, yes, it's bad. It looks bad in terms of publicity. But the question is that we need to check the system. Has this thing been happening before? The other people benefited, so do we need to correct it? So I want to say thanks to the new generation of Liberians who are researching. They are very conscious that they're looking at everything. So that's why we know what's happening. So it could be, that's why they're on the boat.
So the president and the vice president should apologize to us, right?
No, I'm not saying, what I'm saying to you is that, yes, by way of publicity, it looks bad.
If it is true that it actually is happening, and it did happen as well, I mean, don't you think they should apologize to the Liberian people?
This is what I'm saying. Anyway, first thing, it needs to be stopped. So the question, how long has this practice been in place? You know, how long has this practice been in place? So it needs to stop. Then we can correct it from there.
Will it ever be corrected, you think?
Oh yeah, it will be. I mean, based on the publicity from this, it will be corrected. It will be corrected. I mean, Liberians now are reading, they find out things, and they know it will be, because sooner or later somebody will check and say, oh, but wait a minute, we did mention this thing and it's still happening. So it will be corrected. But when things happen, we always point it at this individual. What if the position allowed that to happen? What if things, going on like that? So we need to correct those things that not focus on the individual, but focus on the offices and the functionality and the laws that support those offices. It just start getting, just take a number of 1,000 gallon, how you call it, chip or something. Where are you going? How far is Monrovia? How can you have the extra amount of things? But you can't put the person responsible because the office requires for that. These are the benefits the office requires for. So don't look at the individual. Look at the offices and its benefits and functionality. That's what we need to focus on, and not the individual. That's the thought that we have. We always look at, oh, that's John. But what if John office requires him to get 100 gallons a day? That's the office requirement. So we need to focus on those things and change our system, change our structure, and change our laws. And that's how a nation is built. A nation is not built by you teaching human beings. It's built by putting institutions in places that will prevent, discourage corruption, and encourage development.
All right, his name is once again Mr. Emmanuel as Wettee, of course, former ULA leader, and of course spearheading the organizations now pushing for the dual citizenship in Liberia. Let's get his view. Mr. Wettee, Senator Prince Johnson, former senator, he's in the picture again, and recent news is I bet not that more encouraging in terms of his utterances. I don't know whether you heard the latest audio, his voice when he was in the church talking. What do you have to offer in response to Mr. Prince Johnson? You think it's healthy for the democracy we have right now?
I listened to the interview very well, and I played it 101 times to listen to it. Let's get something. And sometimes when we argue these things, we make other decisions depending on the platform. But as I'm on this platform, my official position is this: that despite what you think or fear of Senator Prince Johnson, he was elected by the people of Nimba County. He was not elected by the people of Shannon County, Grand Dealer, or Bassett. So when people come out and say Liberians elected, this person and that person, the people of Nimba, they believe in him. So you can't come out and say these things about the senator. Yes, you can go ahead and say he did these things, but people come out and make condition that the man from Sandler should be able to remove the thing. You can't say that. The man was elected. And if you think that you don't like Senator Prince Johnson, election comes, the next election, go ahead and vote against him. Don't just run around. We have a democratic process. There is an institution for him to be removed. You can go through that process and have him removed. Yes, Prince Johnson is a free talker. He speaks his mind. I heard what he said, and I may say, I will not make the statement that he made. Honestly, I won't do it. But he's telling you the honest truth. He has a chip.
Does it call for concern, especially so we haven't heard anything pertaining to warring factions for many, many years. Does it call for concern if the honorable man, Prince Johnson, can come out now to tell us that they have an association of warring factions and even give names of leaders? Does it call for concern, especially you being a community leader?
Yes. It does call for concern. But if you have the association of warring factions, does it mean that they are ready to fight? Are you saying it's the matter of fighting? Are you saying that they're going to take guns? You can have the association of marching women. You have the association of...
No. This is association of warring factions, and you know definitely what warring faction means in Liberia. Anyway, is it healthy right now? I mean, under the kind of a peace you just talking about that we've been enjoying peace and whatsoever. I mean, will it not worry anybody, or will it not make anybody to go have sleepless night if they hear Prince Johnson saying, "Oh, we are coming together now as an association of warring factions"?
Yeah, but what I'm also saying to you is that you can have the association of warring factions, warlords, but it's not. You also going to think that they're not grabbing arms, they're not buying ammunition to come to fight. You know, because we are looking at them in the past. So, oh, these warring factions are coming together because they want to start another war. You can't assume that. You know, there's maybe it's come together. It may be in the best interest of the country.
But do you know that government can hold somebody responsible and charge them for treason based on statements?
Yeah, but he said there's a coalition of warring factions. Okay, what I'm saying to you, my brother, is that he didn't say they're going to buy ammunition, they're going to fight war, they're going to do this. It's just a coalition of warring factions. The security of Liberia is residing in the hand and parameter of the government of the Republic of Liberia. Yes, people have the concern. I agree with you. But nowhere we have read that a group is going to buy arms or create another war.
If you hear today, if you hear tomorrow, if you wake up tomorrow morning, you hear on the radio and you hear association of former fighters of NPFL, they call for meeting in Banga. How will you feel?
I will see tracking. I will tell you. I will think twice.
So would you then not feel threatened by the senator coming out to say they have an association of warring factions, and even those that he named are the same names that were heading warring factions yesterday? Why are you not? Why are you dragging it?
No, I agree with you. I agree with you that I will see tracking. I will feel somehow. But
as a community leader, then would you condemn his act?
I will see, but no, I can't condemn the act until I see the platform, until I see why the meeting, until I see what goal is going to, until I see the objective.
But you just said it. You just agree with me here that I mean, constitutionally, in a civilized government or country, somebody can be charged for treason just by making a statement. And you just agree with me that indeed, if you hear tomorrow morning that there's an association of former MPFL fighters meeting, you say you feel threatening. Why can you feel threatening for the senator making this statement?
Yeah, what I say you, the Constitution also says a Liberian citizen has the right to gather. What I'm saying to you is this, my brother. Yes, I will see threatening. I will see otherwise because of the Prince Johnson. But equally, what I'm saying to you too is that I can't take no action until I see the objective, until I see the operational need before I go ahead and take the action. But as Liberian citizen, you can form any group. You can have the association of, ex-fighter. You can have the association of this, but you can also monitor what you're doing. Not because Prince Johnson came back and said, "Oh, the association of warlords." So I should, yes, I will panic a little bit, but wait a minute. I said, well, let me wait and see what they're doing. So we can't just keep living in the world of fear. In fact, you brought a very good point. Look at this guy they called General Bodnicki. General Bodnicki was one of the most dangerous men. doing the work. Yet today, he's ministering to people. He's a minister of the gospel. And you see, you're not going to go to his church?
Me personally, I won't go to his church.
Okay, good. Let me just say to our radio-led audience that I'm not here supporting any group. I'm just saying that if Prince Johnson says, there's a vision of warlord, yes, I will feel a little bit threatening. However, it's a constitutional right to gather. And I think the government of Liberia will monitor there and see until they can do something outside within the scope of the law. I have everything to fear them.
Mr. Wettee, I really wanted an honest answer on this, but let's leave that. Let's come to the aspect of the TPS, DED, as a leader or former leader of EULA. I know very well, even though you're pushing this dual citizenship aspect, but you must be on top of things with respect to our brothers and our sisters. We got a couple of months from now, according to the U.S. government, a couple of months from now, another worry will come, or maybe some of them are already worried with respect to what is. You have any news to share with us, with your Liberian brothers and sisters that are listening right now in Liberia or elsewhere as well, with respect to those of our brothers and sisters that are actually under these protections?
Yes, what I do know is that the leadership of EULA, the Immigration Committee, is meeting all of the time to plan strategy to counteract, to be prepared for the next wave. The only thing that's slowing there is that because of the election, everybody that we have talked to, even including my senator from Ohio, we went to the office and they said, look, we hear your concern, we feel you, we know, but right now, the election is November, and after the election, you can come back and we'll discuss the issue. But we believe that with the leadership of EULA, Kiatama, and Jennifer, and the other group in Minnesota and other people around, Kiatama is doing extremely well from Minnesota, working along with EULA leadership and other groups that are here. I believe very strongly that they will make a difference. And to the best of my knowledge, I know the committee in Minnesota, the leadership in Minnesota is meeting regularly, discussing the issue. The same thing with EULA, and even local chapters are discussing. The only problem that we have is everybody is saying that we should wait until after the November election, and we'll pick up. But we are preparing now. We are preparing heavily to make sure that our brothers and sisters are not deported come next March. Under the same thing, we also are encouraging our people to find other means to improve their statuses. So, to the best of my knowledge, EULA and its partner and collaborators are planning for the next wave. But we all are waiting for this one election to be over in November, and we go from there.
All right. Once again, finally, his name is Mr. Emmanuel Wettee, studio guest here today on the Max K Talk Show. I will take your comments. I think he will comment on them lastly, just before he go. But let's do this last one here from my end, with respect to, because we can have, once we have him on here, we have to talk about EULA as well. He being president of EULA. Mr. Wettee, did you follow the Chancellor's trial?
The Chancellor what?
Mr. Chancellor trial in The Hague. Did you follow it?
Yes, yes.
What is the position of the present? What is the position even if you were the present leader of EULA, even though you're a former leader, that means you still hold some sort of a responsibility also. In fact, I think it was during your tenure when Mr. Taylor was in The Hague, I stand to be corrected. What do you have to tell Liberian people if you were the present leader of EULA right now, with respect to Mr. Taylor mentioning EULA as a founding member of the MPFL?
You know, it's good that you ask this question because many of times people always say that ULA is responsible for the Civil War in Liberia because you have founding members like Charles Taylor, Tom Woyu, and other people that funded the MPFL all came from ULA. So the issue is this. Yes, everybody should pay for the weight of the committed. So that's a fact. You know, what Taylor did, he did it he's in jail not because of what he did in Liberia. He's in jail because of what he did in Sierra Leone. So we need to have that correction made. The only person that's in jail because of what he did in Liberia is Chucky, Taylor's son. So all the people that committed crime in Liberia, they're walking free. Now, my position right now is that, look, let the decision of the court remain, let the law take its place, and let Mr. Taylor serve his term. But the point I want to make here, on the other side of the coin, that in the early 70s, when Liberia had one-party political system, it was ULA that took the lead to conscientize our people. And today, we have a multi-party democratic process. Now, I am not saying the path to achieve this goal is good. We can all debate that. But people should recognize that what some of the guys are enjoying now, they can vote, they can campaign from Cape Montserrat to Cape Palmas. It was the work of ULA and other progressive groups that made it possible. So for people to keep asking what has ULA done, I mean, if you can vote in Liberia peacefully, if you can wake up and question your senator, you should know that effort started with ULA and other progressive groups in the early 70s.
Will ULA be in a position to apologize to the Liberian people?
Well, I don't think I apologize for what happened.
I mean, Taylor said it. We have it on tape. We all been listening to it, and Taylor said that the whole idea of forming MPFL that destroyed the country, that was behind the killings, and the reason that we call him for war crime today is because of the anarchy that went on through their initiative. Don't you think this leadership of ULA should apologize to the Liberian people for the ULA participation in what happened in Liberia?
No, ULA don't participate in any war. There is no record to say that the union leadership participated in a war. You can say former member of Liberia did it. Are you saying that?
Not former member. Mr. Taylor was the president at the time.
No. Taylor started his war December 24, 1989. ULA was founded 1974, July 4th. Taylor has left ULA long term and carried on his life. And ULA has been operating as an organization. I was former president of ULA. I didn't sponsor a war in ULA.
All right, okay, sir. Just wait for me small. Let me play the tape.
The details
okay.
Of that a little later. But help us with this. You mentioned an organization of Liberians with which you were involved. What was the name of that organization?
It was called the Union of Liberian Associations in the Americas. ULAA. ULA.
And when was that organization founded?
Hello?
In 1972.
And were you involved in the process of founding the organization?
That is correct. I was one of the founders of the organization.
Hello?
And what was the objective?
All right. Sorry, Emmanuel. Unfortunately, if you were on video, perhaps you could hear, but the system some kind of way that you can't even hear Mr. Taylor. Yes, Mr. Taylor, let me just repeat what he said on this video. That was, I'm quoting him from the trial. Those that are watching live, they heard it. They asked him as to when was the organization founded. He said 1972. Whether he was one of the one of the members. He said, "Yes, I am one of the founding member of the organization. One of the founding members of the organization." Okay, so this is it. The reason I'm asking this question with respect to whether, I mean, honor a civilization form of leadership. This present leadership should apologize to the Liberian people for EULA's participation or EULA full involvement in this civil war in Liberia, is because EULA is a founding member of the MPFL.
No, EULA is not a founding member of any faction group. Been in EULA since 1992. I've never read, EULA is not a member of any faction group. EULA have always been the voice for the voiceless. EULA have always represented democracy. EULA have always represented equal justice and equality for people.
So why are you denying the membership of Mr. Charles Taylor then? Because he's a founding member of EULA, and in fact in 1972 they started the whole thing here, and he used the leadership portfolio to put MPFL together. Why are you denying this? He's saying that.
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm not denying Charles membership in EULA. No, you see, the problem that we have is that we always do association by guilt. Because a man came from Nima County, he did something. All the people from Nima County will be punished. No. That's the way. Under the civil law, let me take you back to Kenya. Kenya. I think you heard of the Mau Mau Society. You used to even hear before I even heard of it, because you're far older than me. The Mau Mau Society in Kenya, which really held there as well. The British were there, and the British they have to leave. You know, at the time, the former Prime Minister David Cameron, according to him, he was a little boy. David Cameron came to power just quite recently, and he left. But before he left, the issue of Mau Mau Society resonated from Kenya, and there are people who are still survivors who are in their 80s, 90s or so. And the issue came up, and they said, well, they have to get compensation from the British government with respect to as far as the connection with the Mau Mau Society is concerned. And this is the Prime Minister that was a little boy, was not even thinking about politics also. He is the one that apologized to Kenya for that issue, and his government is the one that led the way to pay compensation to these people. This is about social responsibility and to show good leadership. EULA was involved. EULA, Moja, movement of justice in Africa, they all were involved in what happened in Liberia. Don't you think it is prudent now that the leadership of EULA should apologize to the Liberian people for EULA's participation, irrespective of it happened many years ago? But I just gave you a story right now. Just a point of correction. You keep saying EULA participation in the war. No, EULA is not a faction in the war. EULA was never a faction in the war. EULA always stood for equal justice and equality. EULA never took part in the war.
I am giving you information, sir, that Mr. Taylor said. He was the president of EULA, and he used his portfolio to form the MPFL. So the birth of MPFL actually from the leadership, because even Tom Wayu was there. Why are you denying this?
You see, what? Okay, this is okay. Let me just say something. That the position of EULA is expressed and discussed at the National General Assembly of the Union, where decisions are made. To the best of my recollection and to the best of my knowledge of EULA, I cannot, I have not read, I have not seen where EULA passed a law to sponsor armed revolution or armed conflict in Liberia. So EULA as an institution is not a party to any armed conflict within the Republic of Liberia. As a matter of fact, UDA took part in the peacemaking. UDA was part of the accord in Ghana. UDA was represented by Mohamed Nkrumah and Rennie Jackson.
Yeah, that means giving their record, isn't it?
Huh?
Meaning giving their track record, isn't it?
No, UDA went there for peace. When ECOWAS decided to invite Liberians, UDA was represented. UDA represented the diaspora organizations. So UDA has always been on the side of peace and equal justice and equality. UDA could never, ever sponsor conflict. And so I just want for the record, because you keep saying that UDA was part of it. No, UDA was never part of any conflict.
So just finally, even if you were the current leader of ULA, with all of these, with what Mr. Taylor said, you won't be apologizing to the Liberian people?
Well, you know, I mean, you apologize when your institution committed a crime. Now, people can say what they want to say, but in my eyes and in my own view, ULA as an institution is not a party to any conflict, was never a party to any conflict, and it's not a party to any conflict. Was and is never, to the best of my knowledge. So,
all right.
Only a party, just for the record, we are not defending Mr. Taylor. No, we are not defending Mr. Tapp, Tom Will. No, we're not doing that. I'm just defending the institution ULA. Now, if you're in ULA and you left to do something, that's a different thing. Not because of Ben for Nima trying to do something, so you want to hold all the proof and Nima responsible. The Senate the proven grand jury. So we need to take the action of one person and judge them, and not collectively put the guilt on the group or the sector of society it's coming from.
All right, sir. This is just saying sorry, that's all. But let me just read some of the comments just before we can get your final word. Some of the comments those that are watching on Facebook Live. Thanks so much, Sylvester Bajolo. He says yes. Sylvester Bajolo is watching. Okay, it says yeah. Wait. Okay, J. Kibonu Pierre, forgive me if I don't get your name right, to get it right. Whoa, Wettee, can't believe what I am hearing from you. Well, Mr. Wettee is our guest tonight, of course. Max, okay, let me see. Max, you are, this is Janet Massacre. Janet Massacre is saying here, let me see, they think people, a lot of people contributing. It keeps coming. Okay, Max, you talking to a wrong person. Yula is a fundraiser for these was laws. Solomon Fasa, also from the USA. Your guests need to come clear that we don't need association of former warlords. Okay, quickly to this. Actually, because of time, I can't read all of them. Let me see. Moses Sedi Yempan. Please don't repeat what you just said, because the objectives warring factions have been to kill, destroy lives and properties. Okay, that's another listener there. Let's see. JP is back. You are wrong. Not constitutional right to form any group. Read Article 76 of the Constitution. Prince Johnson's pronouncement is in violation of the Constitution and is treasonous under Article 76 of the Constitution. Quickly, this one says, Sylvester Bajolo, Mr. Wettee, I respect you. Please say something better about dual citizenship in Liberia, where he covered extensively on that in terms of, let's take this one lastly. From Janet Massacre, since 1972, what concept development has ULA done for the Liberian people, for the youth of Liberia, besides raising funds to destroy Liberia? It is all lies. So are you saying Charles Taylor is lying? Good job, Mr. Wettee. Okay, somebody say Edna Bo Sumo. Good job, Mr. Wettee. All right, just any thought on this?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to everybody for their time. And currently, we do have a youth leadership headed by President Fofana and Chairman George Toto, Chairman of the Board of Directors. If you want to hear youth official position on this thing, I would recommend, even though right now I'm discussing on the intellectual platform, but if you want to hear anything official about you can contact President Fofana or Chairman George Toto. These people will give you the official position on this issue. The views expressed here, like the host mentioned, I just my view as former president of the union, but that's not the official position of the union. I just want to say thank you to everybody. And also I want to say that, look, yes, Mr. Taylor was once part of UDA, but it doesn't mean that what he did was sanctioned by UDA. And we as Liberians, we should get up the role of, because the man from Nima, and he did something, all the Libanians are responsible. The man from Grenada did something, and that the entire country is responsible because, we need to filter people out and hold them responsible for what they do. But however, everybody has their own view, and I respect the views of people. I was in Minnesota the other day, and the daughter of the late president, Thomas, said that Yuna was responsible for the death of her father. So I do understand the concern. I can relate to that. But it's not the doctrine of Yuna to cause armed conflict. So I understand. But equally so, we should all know that the fact that you can hold Yuna responsible, look at the good picture. Look at the advocacy that Yuna did, that today our youth, our mothers, our sisters are able to campaign freely within the length and breadth of the Republic of Liberia. So look at that positive part that Yuna has done. Some of you guys were talking back in the day, you didn't even know you're a senator. You didn't even know who was running. So give some credit to the progressive in Yuna that has made it possible for people to vote today. Don't just look at all of the negative aspects. But in all, I respect your views, and we in the leadership, or not in the leadership, we look at those things and review them. I also want to say thank you for your support for dual citizenship. We are closer from where we started, and we are hoping that the president pro tem will put the issue in the floor. We want to say thank you to everybody, including Senator Fanny Sherman, Councilor Cyril Cooper, and all of the champions, supporters. And let me say that thank you to President Weah for his outstanding and bold leadership in dual citizenship. He has taken it to the next level. So thanks to everybody that are involved, and we hope the next time we come on your show, we will be reading to you the new law. We hope so. If not, we'll still come back on your show, your platform. Maxwell, you have done an extremely good job for us. You have helped us in the struggle, and we want to say thank you. Thank you. We hope that one day we will come back here to tell you thanks for what you have been doing for us and what you're going to still be doing for us, because the journey has not even started. I want to say thank you for the opportunity, and thanks to everybody. Thanks to our partners, that in the coalition that we're doing. And may God bless everybody. And tomorrow we all should see a better Liberia. Our better days are ahead. Thank you all.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Are you on your way to? Are you going to be at the HQ of the UN?
Yeah, I will. I will go there. I plan to go there, so I'm making arrangements to go there.
Okay, sir. On this note, we want to say thank you so much for coming on the Max K Talk Show. We do sincerely honor your coming. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Thank you, Max. Thank you.
All right. I said.
Illusion of terror on their mind, intoxicated by evil desire, breaking down economies, suffocating our future. Somebody help me see my redemption song. Yeah, God bless Pan Africa. My redemption song. Yeah, my redemption song. My redemption song.
All right. This is how we come to the end of the Max K Talk Show today. Thank you so much for being there. Thanks to all of you who made your contribution as well. Liberia is our alma mater. Wherever we are, whatever we are doing, we know we got a country. And that country is Liberia. What we need love for one another, and we need to express that love with sincerity. Once we do that, we'll be able to extend a hand of friendship to somebody. Sincerity is the key word. Until we can be sincere to ourselves and be sincere to the responsibility we have, whether it's in your community or so, the failure to exercise that responsibility sincerely will jeopardize our characters. And indeed, in whatever capacity we are serving, that institution will be threatened. So I leave there with you. That unless we change our minds, unless we change our corrupt minds, helping Liberia, and for Liberia to wake up from where it is right now, it's going to take us a long time again. Unless we speak out with sincerity, that irrespective of whoever is involved, if it is wrong, let us call it wrong. If that individual isn't behaving the right way, let's forget about whatever we're getting from them. Let us be brave to say, you have erred. That you said was wrong. That you did yesterday was very, very wrong. And continuing to cover things up, continuing to defend people, even covertly. My fellow citizens, we still got a long way to go. On this note, I want to say thank you so much for following. Hopefully, by the grace of God, we'll have our guest tomorrow on this show. Will be from all the way there, Mombasa in Kenya, and we'll be talking about climate change tomorrow. Climate change and how it is affecting all of us. Especially, we produce less in terms of what constitutes climate change, the continent of Africa, but indeed it's hitting us high. So we'll be in Mombasa, Kenya tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining in. God bless you. We are still on the campaign for to help our people back home who are right now displaced due to flooding. So please join us. Find the Facebook page, Citizens United Against Disaster. We're collecting money, especially for those of you in the diaspora. We are still collecting money between now to the end of September. It's being extended to Monrovia, Liberia. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be announcing to you another initiative that we intend to add on the project. We're intending to print t-shirts, and those t-shirts will be sold in Monrovia, and we will have a day in Monrovia that volunteers will, some of them will wear those t-shirts and they'll go around with buckets to collect money. And whatever between now and the end of September, whatever we get, our citizens of Liberia in the diaspora for $1 and up, and then we'll wire that money, and then we'll put it together with whatever we will get through Joy FM on Newport Street, and we just put it together, and we'll go and present it to the leadership of the National Disaster Management Agency of the Republic of Liberia. So for now, Thomas just posted the Facebook page there for GoFundMe. Just please follow it. But regrettably, it's the 4th week now. But regrettably, let me let you know, GoFundMe just notified me this morning. We haven't reached $100 yet. No, so sad. Not even $100 yet. Until then, tomorrow morning, God bless you and God bless Mama Liberia. I love you all. Bye bye. Okay, time to go.